Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into a topic that honestly touches so many of us, anxiety. You know that feeling, right? That constant background hum of worry, or maybe your heart races for no reason, muscles just tight all the time. It really impacts daily life for millions. And in this, pretty demanding world we live in, trying to manage those feelings can feel like a lot. So our mission today, we want to cut through some of the noise around food supplements, specifically for stress and anxiety support. Are they actually helpful? What's the science really saying? And maybe most importantly, how can you figure out what's safe and maybe beneficial for you?
That's exactly the plan. Think of this as getting you informed, properly informed. We'll look at the different kinds of supplements, the science, and sometimes the lack of strong science, the really critical things you need to think about. The goal is for you, the listener, to feel confident navigating these options.
Okay, let's dig in then. There's been this really noticeable shift, hasn't there, towards more natural, sort of holistic health approaches. It's not just a fad, I think. People seem genuinely drawn to things that feel gentler, maybe fit a more natural lifestyle. And the idea of fewer side effects compared to, say, conventional meds, that's a big appeal.
Absolutely. And you see this interest especially strong in people who maybe haven't quite found the relief they wanted from traditional treatments. But it's crucial to frame it right, like you said. Usually these supplements are seen as complementary, something additional to support a broader strategy.
Sure.
Not really a replacement for prescribed treatments or therapy. They add to, they don't substitute.
Right, a supportive role. And the range of what's out there is huge. We're talking ancient herbal remedies, things our bodies need anyway, like vitamins, minerals, and even some newer compounds that are getting a lot of research buzz. So where should we start? Maybe with the plants.
Yeah, herbals often come to mind first when you think natural remedy, don't they? Which ones are still relevant today for anxiety? Kava is often one of the first people mentioned. It has a long history, especially in the South Pacific, known for its calming effects, sometimes even euphoric. It's traditionally used for mild anxiety, promoting relaxation. But Kava's story is also, it's a really important lesson. Its effectiveness comes with a serious caveat. Potential liver toxicity in some people, it's rare but significant. It just hammers home that natural isn't the same as risk-free. Careful use, talking to a doctor, absolutely essential with Kava.
Wow. Okay, that liver warning for Kava is pretty stark. Does that mean all natural supplements have hidden risks like that? Or is Kava kind of a special case?
It means all active compounds, whether they come from a plant or a lab, can have effects and side effects. Kava is just a particularly strong example of a serious potential risk. Other herbs, like Passionflower, that's often seen as much gentler, used for mild anxiety relief. But the scientific backing for Passionflower is still, it's developing, not as robust yet. And you sometimes hear valerian mentioned, but that's really more for sleep. St. John's wort, too, more for mood, less direct evidence specifically for anxiety relief. You really have to look at each one individually.
Okay, so beyond the herbs people might know, I find it really fascinating how basic things like amino acids might actually help calm us down. How does that work?
Yeah, it's not just about building muscles. Certain amino acids are key players in brain chemistry. They can directly influence mood and how we respond to stress. Take L-lysine and L-arginine, for instance. When used together, there's some interesting, promising research suggesting they can reduce anxiety symptoms. The thinking is they might tweak how our body responds to stress by affecting neurotransmitter receptors, like for serotonin or GABA, kind of dialing down the anxiety signals. It's subtle chemistry, but potentially powerful. Still, we definitely need more specific research to nail down exactly how they work best therapeutically.
And L-theanine, that's the one in tea, right? What's special about that one?
Right, L-theanine, often found in green tea. It's quite unique because it seems to promote relaxation without making you drowsy. It encourages what they call relaxed alertness. You feel calm, but still focused. It boosts alpha brain waves, which are linked to that kind of calm, awake state. So it's popular for people wanting gentle relief during the day without feeling sedated.
Okay, so from amino acids, let's move to maybe even more fundamental stuff, minerals and vitamins. How important are these basic building blocks for our mental state?
Oh, absolutely crucial. Take magnesium. It's involved in Gosh, over 300 processes in the body. Many are vital for nerve function, mood regulation. Some studies do suggest magnesium supplements might help with anxiety, especially if someone's levels are a bit low to begin with. Think of it like essential backstage crew for your brain. If magnesium's low, things can get a bit out of sync. So ensuring you get enough magnesium is definitely a good foundation for mental health, even if it's not a cure-all for serious anxiety on its own.
So if these basics are so important, how would you even know if you're maybe just a bit low, not like full-on deficient? And could topping up really help?
That's a really good point, because the signs can be subtle. You might not have a diagnosed deficiency, but even just suboptimal levels of things like B vitamins or vitamin D, they can potentially make stress feel worse or contribute to mood instability. B vitamins are key for energy-making neurotransmitters. And vitamin D, we're finding receptors for it all over the brain, suggesting it plays a role in mood. So for someone who is confirmed to be low, maybe through a blood test, then supplementing isn't just a maybe, it's actually addressing a known physiological factor that could be contributing to how they feel. It helps restore balance.
It really shows how connected everything is, doesn't it? But okay, we've covered the basics. What about some of the other compounds getting attention, like omega-3s? Usually hear about those for heart health.
True, but their benefits seem broader. Omega-3 fatty acids are well known for reducing inflammation throughout the body. And there's growing evidence linking lower inflammation with better mental health, including potentially lower anxiety in some groups. We still need more specific studies focusing just on anxiety. But omega-3s are generally considered safe, healthy fats, good for overall brain health. It's often a case where boosting general wellness supports mental wellness too.
Makes sense. And then probiotics, they've really blown up in popularity. This is where that whole gut-brain axis idea comes in, right? Which is kind of mind-bending for a lot of people.
It really is fascinating. The gut-brain axis. It's not just a simple connection. It's like a superhighway with constant traffic in both directions. Your gut microbes, they're producing neurotransmitters, sending signals via the immune system, creating compounds like short-chain fatty acids. And all this directly influences your brain, your mood, how you handle stress. Researchers are digging into specific probiotic strains and doses for anxiety now. But the big takeaway, a healthy gut environment seems really important for mental well-being overall.
That gut-brain link is really something. Could you maybe give an example? Like, how could something I eat actually affect my mood through this pathway?
Sure. Let's say someone eats a lot of processed foods, not much fiber. That can kind of skew the balance of bacteria in their gut, favoring ones that might not be as beneficial. These less helpful bacteria might produce more inflammatory signals or fewer of those good short-chain fatty acids that help keep the gut lining healthy and also signal to the brain. Over time, this kind of low-level inflammation and altered gut signaling could subtly contribute to feeling more stressed or anxious. But flip it around. Adding more fiber, fermented foods that can encourage a healthier, more diverse microbiome, which might send more calming signals up that gut-brain highway.
That makes it much clearer. Okay, one more big one. CBD. Cannabidiol. The interest in this for anxiety has just exploded. It feels like it's everywhere.
It definitely has captured a lot of public interest, no doubt. But, and this is really important for you as an informed listener, the research findings on CBD for anxiety are, frankly, inconsistent. Yes, some clinical trials using high doses of pharmaceutical-grade CBD have shown promise for specific anxiety disorders. But the low doses you typically find in over-the-counter oils or gummies, the scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness for general anxiety is often quite weak. It raises real questions about how much is actually helping versus, say, the placebo effect. It's definitely not a guaranteed fix, and the quality varies wildly, too. Understanding those limitations is key.
Right. So standing there looking at all these bottles on the shelf, it can feel overwhelming. How do we sift through it all? How do we apply that critical eye you mentioned?
It's tough, because the reality is, for many supplements, the hard, scientific proof, large, well-designed studies is often lacking, or the results are mixed. And we absolutely have to acknowledge the placebo effect. It's real. People can genuinely feel better. But relying on placebo alone isn't a reliable long-term strategy. Good science looks for effects beyond placebo. So being aware of that is step one.
Which brings us back to that key message, really. These things, if you use them, should probably be seen as potential support, right? Part of a bigger picture that includes professional care if needed, not usually a replacement. And being really wary of those big, splashy marketing claims is important too. Look for substance over hype.
Exactly. And safety has to be number one. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it can't interact with medications you're already taking or cause side effects. We talked about the Kava liver risk. But even magnesium, if you take way too much, can cause significant digestive upset. Everybody's body chemistry is different. What helps your friend might not help you or could even cause problems.
Which is why that conversation with a doctor or pharmacist before starting anything new is just non-negotiable, isn't it? Especially if you have other health conditions or you're on other meds, you absolutely need that professional check to avoid potentially harmful interactions. It's a critical safety step.
And on top of interactions, the quality itself varies hugely. The supplement industry isn't regulated like prescription drugs are, so looking for products tested by independent third-party organizations checking for purity, that the dose on the label is actually in the pill that's really advisable. Read labels carefully, know what's in there, check out the brand's reputation. It's about being a smart consumer, protecting your health, and not wasting money.
Okay, let's look ahead a bit, because this whole area is moving fast. There's this growing field, sometimes called nutritional psychiatry. It really emphasizes that deep link between what we eat, our gut health, and how we feel mentally. It feels like a really exciting frontier.
It really is. That gut-brain axis we talked about. It's becoming central to understanding mental health. It's this incredibly complex two-way communication network. And figuring out how to influence it positively through diet, maybe through specific probiotics, it's opening up potentially new ways to support mental well-being. Probiotics and gut health are definitely key players in this emerging research. When you connect it all, it suggests our basic physical health is tied to our mental state much more tightly than maybe we used to think.
For sure. It highlights just how much more we need to learn. With so many people looking for natural options for anxiety, we really need more solid research, don't we? Studies to properly confirm safety, figure out how these things actually work in the body, what the best doses are, and what happens long term.
Yeah, that rigorous science is what will ultimately give everyone, doctors and individuals alike, a clearer picture and allow for truly informed recommendations.
So wrapping up, we've covered a lot of ground. From acknowledging how common anxiety is to exploring this whole landscape of supplements, herbs, amino acids, minerals, the gut connection, and hopefully really stress the importance of making careful, informed choices.
Exactly. And if you take away just a few key things, let it be these. Always talk to your healthcare provider first. See supplements as potential complements to care, not replacements. Understand the evidence is still limited for many things. And prioritize safety and quality check for third-party testing when you can.
And maybe one last thought to leave you with, something to mull over. Thinking beyond just individual pills or powders. How might really focusing on a personalized approach to nutrition, really nurturing our gut health, how might that fundamentally shift how we understand and manage mental well-being in the future? Just consider that deep connection, what we eat, those trillions of microbes inside us, and how we genuinely feel day to day. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.